Welcome to this BrainSpace walkthrough. BrainSpace is one of our more challenging GOGOs because it requires students to think in multiple dimensions. Let's jump right in. I'll show you an example. Step one, as we usually do with our GOGOs, is to tell students and teachers to open their minds and get their imaginations ready. As a reminder, there are no wrong answers here. We want students to think and use their imaginations. That's the goal. So let's check out the spaces. There are three types of brain spaces: image, squiggle, and shapes. Image is a little bit easier to understand from the get-go, so I'll briefly go through it and then we'll do a live squiggle. It's a little more complex. The main idea with image brain space is to draw a picture in the missing square to complete the story. The missing square is in the middle, the one with the big question mark in it. Sometimes that missing piece is at the beginning or at the end. The idea is to have students complete the visual storytelling as it flows from left to right. Students need to think about what happened in the middle image. Why is the frog smiling? Why are there only two flies at the end? And where did that boat come from? So now let's do an example using a squiggle brain space. With the squiggle, the idea is similar to the image brain space, and that the sequence of the story goes from left to right. But instead of the picture already being drawn, students have to draw their own pictures. And on top of that, they have to incorporate the squiggles into the drawing to complete the visual stories. We start with a blank sheet of paper and draw 3 boxes, or you can create like a 3-box template and print them out. Students will then need to draw the squiggles as best they can to match the shape and location. Now for this example, I'll draw the squiggles in red so that they stand out. Like most of ImaginGO, the exercises can be flexible. For instance, you can push students and set a timer for this exercise. You can run this drawing portion of BrainSpace a number of times so that students can generate more stories. The stories can be very simple, like I'm doing here. So in box 1, I established a scene with a man in a tree. In box 2, he was climbing the tree. In box 3, I show that this is an apple tree, and the man picked an apple. And now he's sitting there, he's eating the apple, and there's the landscape, and let's make him happy. There he is. So I've created a very simple story that required multiple dimensional thinking by observing the squiggles, abstracting the sequencing, the ideas, and then executing those ideas by drawing the visual story. In step 4, there's a few ways of sharing and collaborating with the class. You write a song, you write an article, you create an advertisement. The challenge is randomly selected. We got the reporter challenge. So let me think of a few headlines here. We have the daring young man climbs tree to pick first apple of the season, or Johnny Appleseed picks his first apple. Let's go with Johnny Appleseed picks his first apple. Then we create a simple article. It doesn't have to be long, just enough to tell a part of the story or put an interesting spin on what they created in the previous step. So let's go with Johnny Appleseed made history today by climbing a tree in his family's orchard and picking a fresh, ripe apple. Witnesses said it was an act of remarkable courage to climb such a tree and pick such an amazing apple. And here's the article with the images so you can see how they work together. Teachers sometimes have their students present to the entire class, or they break off into smaller groups to discuss what they have created. With BrainSpace, you don't have to be a Picasso or a Hemingway. We simply want to see how imagination and the thought process translates to a student's paper. And that's it for BrainSpace. Try it out soon with your students. Tell us how it goes.